a fan's perspective now as we're joined by Ricky Sachs from the Last Word on Spurs. Good morning to you, Ricky. I know it's not a good morning for you, but if we take it back to before kick-off yesterday, how confident were you ahead of the game?
0.00001%, being brutally honest, guys.
Why not then? Because there were it was fourth v fifth. So surely you've got class players as well.
Guys, at the moment, we're without a manager, sporting director, and these last, I would say, 4 or 5 years, a real lack of any kind of sense of direction, purpose, organisation as to where this club is ultimately going. There is a real lack of any form of leadership and strategy right from the very, very top. And can I just say, before we come on to the game, I really feel that every single Spurs fan that made that journey yesterday, and not only yesterday, the numerous journeys that our away fans have done, not only in the UK, but in and out of the country, around Europe. And that is one of many that deserves a refund for the real lack of desire, appetite from a group of players that they shouldn't also be let off the hook here. As I've said, for me, it festers right from the very top downwards. There's a real lack of accountability, responsibility from board level to players, to even the management structure. And as I've said before, you can apportion the blame wherever you wish to choose to, but in every category you look at, every one of those areas are massively, massively short. And we're in a situation again now where I wake up and the acting head coach's role is completely and utterly untenable. There is no way forward for Cristian Stellini in these remaining games at the football club. And we won't be able to change the board by Thursday, but we can certainly change the voice that these players are hearing, because I can't quite believe, I refuse to believe that this is the best that we're seeing from these players. Yes, from some of them, this is the best. And that's why they have to be some of them moved on from this squad, this organisation. But ultimately, something has to change between now and Thursday, and it won't be the board. So it has to be the voice that is giving some form of instructions to the players that, quite clearly, guys, as you can see yesterday, aren't listening to the messages that they're being told to do.
Who would come in then, Ricky, before Thursday?
What a million-dollar question. Can I be honest with you guys? For me, I look at it now, you're not going to get the manager, because no one will look at this club as any real leading candidate will not want to take this club now until the end of the season and beyond that. They'll want to maybe have a fresh look in the summer and have a real understanding of what exactly needs to happen. For me personally, this might not be everybody's choice for sure. Someone like a Harry Redknapp, just to come in and manage the last 5-6 games and just give everybody a feel-good factor around the club, just to try and enjoy the football. You know, I said this on our show last night. Football is meant to be a form of escapism, that you're meant to forget your everyday problems and enjoy your football club. And you simply can't right now. You can't enjoy the brand of football. You can't enjoy what you're watching. And ultimately, you know, when you cast your mind back, Spurs were beaten 5-1 at St James's Park in 2016. There's not a single player from that Newcastle squad that remains as part of their organisation. And for Spurs, 5 of the players who started that day were in their matchday squad yesterday, and 4 started. And that tells you everything in terms of the difference between the two clubs. There's one on the rise, and there's another that's completely a demise. And that is the real shame. It can be fixed. It can be retrieved, as painful as it is. But there's big decisions that need to be made. And Daniel Levy really needs to take some accountability for what is happening, not just on the pitch, but off it. And that is the real crying shame here.
Well, you are right. I mean, when it comes to the board, you were right when you said nothing's going to change between now and Thursday. And actually, these things do take quite a lot of time, if there is indeed an appetite for change at the club. But in terms of that voice in the dressing room, there were reports in Germany yesterday that Julian Nagelsmann is ready to take the Tottenham job. He wants the Tottenham job. One, is he the right person in the summer? And if he is, why not get him in now?
I'll be honest with you guys, that we can go and appoint Julian Nagelsmann. We can go and try and bring Mauricio Pochettino back from where it looks like Chelsea is very close. You can go talk to Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp. You can go and talk to some of the best managers in the world. But ultimately, until the culture of the club changes right from the very top, nothing's going to change. That, honestly, is the truth. We've had Jose Mourinho Antonio Conte, serial winners that have been there, done it, won it. And we've utterly broken these managers who, no doubt, like Jose has done, has gone on to win trophies. No doubt, like Antonio will go on to win trophies. For me, it starts from the very, very top. And until Tottenham change the culture from the hierarchy downwards, nothing is going to change. And Spurs need to make their mind up on exactly what they want to be. I said this to you guys last time I was here. They need to decide the avenue they want to go down. If they want to go for a win-now manager, you've got to give the win-now manager the win-now tools. If you don't want to go down that route and you want to give it to a project manager, give the fans an understanding of what you want Spurs to be. Give us some direction. Give us some strategy. Just give us a clear understanding of what you want the club to be. And then fans will at least know where they stand. Because right now, we're not even going to meet what the board's requirement is, which is a top 4 finish. Spurs might not even be in any sense of European football by the end of it. It is simply unforgivable how Spurs have allowed this season to fester out. And the one true, I would say, real core of this is the fans. And as fans, we deserve far, 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 far much more better than what we're having to put up with on a weekly basis.
Ricky, just one last one, and back to things on the pitch. One of the real leaders that Spurs do have is Harry Kane. I mean, what do you think is going to happen to him this summer?
Look, Harry is a legend at the football club. He should rightly get a statue. The only thing Daniel Levy has said recently, which many will, I think, agree with, Harry has got a big decision to make this summer, or maybe the summer after that. The power's with Harry now in terms of that contract. You know, the longer that he doesn't pen a deal, it's ultimately in Harry's hands what he wants to do. Harry must be looking around that dressing room yesterday and thinking, what am I working with here? Who is with me here? You know, he scored a wonderful solo goal yesterday, but don't get me wrong also, Harry has at times this season not been at his best. He scored some amazing goals, don't get me wrong. But it is, for me, it's a team collective here. We are simply not good enough. From 1 to 11, from the squad to the management structure to the board, until everybody starts to take accountability for themselves, we will never move forward. We will never, ever move forward. And I've said, guys, for me, it transcends down from the top. If at the top you get it right, as you've seen with Brentford, Brighton, these football clubs, you can change the manager and it can still work. You can change the players, it can still work. These clubs have a clear succession plan as to what they're going to do and how they're going to achieve what they do. At Tottenham, we've got no clear identity or structure as to what the plan is because we haven't been told. We have not been told. And Harry Kane, a man that has given so much of his career to Tottenham, who will no doubt go down, as I've said, a legend for being the top goal scorer, deserves so much more. He deserves trophies. And I don't think there'll be many Spurs fans out there that will begrudge Harry if he was to move on. But ultimately, he's been part of a team that have got to semi-finals and finals that have not got over the line. It's time to find the right man that can come in, reunite the football club, and ultimately have a change at the very, very top. Because ultimately, guys, if that doesn't happen, nothing changes.
Right. Well, Ricky, we get your frustration. Thanks so much for coming on this morning. We'll chat to you soon.
Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it as always.